Of course, buenos dias, and the rest is in English, I'm afraid. My name is Florian Siegert from Devolo, and I'm going to present you all the new products we're going to see in the next upcoming months. I would like to start with what I would call a classical Devolo one. This is, as you can see, a power line adapter, which we're producing since more than a decade now, and this is the latest generation. This is called the DLAN 1200 Plus Wi-Fi AC. As you can see, we like very short and intuitive to remember names, but as complex as the name is what the product does. It is a power line adapter in a classical way, as it features 1200 megabit of data transfer per second over the power line of your house, so you can use the existing cables in your house to transfer your network and internet data, and you will get 2 gigabit Ethernet ports to connect your home electronic equipment, your IT equipment, your laptops, your PCs, whatever you would like. And on top of that, you're going to get an adapter which is fully capable of Wi-Fi AC, the latest Wi-Fi standard. And this features 2.4 and 5 gigahertz data transmission parallel, as well as Wi-Fi N and Wi-Fi AC data transmission parallel, which gets us to a data transmission rates on the Wi-Fi area of close to 1.2 gigabit as well. So this is the new adapter you're going to see by the end of November, if all goes well. And I'm really curious to see how you like it. I'm looking forward to it. This is what our Devolo Home Control portfolio will look like. Devolo Home Control does sound a little bit like smart home, and it is exactly that. This is our approach to the easy to install, all done by yourself smart home. The whole system is based around this central unit, which we call the Devolo Home Control Central then. This is going to do the communication on the one hand between the internet and your smart home, on the other hand between your controlling devices like your smartphones, your tablets, your laptops, your PCs, and in the third and not in the least way, between the central and all the components you can install in your smart home. So, for the start, what are we going to present? We're going to have a switchable power socket, which is, on the other hand, capable of measuring all your connected devices. We're going to have a solution to make your heating smart, just by exchanging your usual thermostats by these ones. We're going to have a room thermostat for controlling more than one of these thermostats. We're going to have a motion detector, which is in the same go capable of measuring the level of light and the temperature. Looking exactly the same, but having a little companion, is our door and window contact, just telling you, is a door and window open or closed, or just in the same go again telling you what is the level of the light, what is the temperature. So you're receiving a lot of data. Again, you receive data from a smoke detector, which is telling you, of course, with an acoustical alarm, if there is smoke, or if you're away from home, with a text, with an email, with a news in the app. We're going to provide that cost-free. And then you've got other devices like switches. Looks like a normal switch on your wall, but the crucial thing about it is you can just put it everywhere. It does not need to be connected to the mains. It has a small battery inside and thus communicate as all the other components wirelessly. And you can completely freely program these buttons. So you can say, okay, I put this near my bed and this is my wake up button. So now please switch on my coffee machine, turn on the heating in a bathroom, or whatever scenarios you can imagine there. We're going to have the same in a mobile device, looking like this, just 4 freely programmable buttons, and can be attached to your key ring, for example. Where it gets interesting is when you have them interact with each other. So you can say, okay, if the door and window contact in the winter says, okay, the window is open, then you automatically switch off my heating so that I'm not heating for the outside. If the window is closed again, okay, turn the heating back on to the programmed degrees. So that is just one very simple example. You can do very complex setups with this. You can, for example, tell the smoke detector to switch on all lamps when it fires an alarm, so that if there's an alarm in the middle of the night, everything is light and lit, and you're not stumbling around in darkness looking where the problem is. That is another thing. All our components are based on a Z-Wave standard, which means, okay, your smartphone is going to talk on Wi-Fi standard with the central, but the central is going to talk on Z-Wave based standard with all the other components. This has the advantage that we're using a different frequency than Wi-Fi, not so crowded, a larger distance to cover. You can cover up to 300 meters with that, and it is a very secure standard, so nobody is able to hack your smart home from the outside. That is the idea behind it. Another very interesting thing about the central is that it not only works as a connection for all the devices and to the cloud where all your configuration will be stored, but it stores the configuration inside itself. So if the internet is gone for a reason, your provider fails to provide you with internet for a day or two, you will still be able to use your smart home. And that all, as I said, this is the crucial point, with a very convenient, easy to handle software which we're going to provide at no cost, which you can install all by yourself in no time. No, you don't need cables at all. All the components, except for the central, of course, and the power socket, will have batteries inside, which have a lifetime of around 2 years on normal usage. That's all standard batteries which you get in every supermarket. And they will tell you around 2 weeks, or you can adjust the time if you like to, before they run out of energy. That's the crucial question. I cannot give you an exact date on that at the moment. We're expecting it probably by the middle of next year. Yes, we're going to offer a starter kit consisting of the central, the door and window contact, and a switchable power socket for 199 euros. And then the prices are not fixed yet, but you will getting a thermostat at around 60 euros, a smoke detector at around 70 euros. Those components will cost around 40 euros, as well as the remote switches. So that will be the price range of the products, roughly.